Hello everyone and happy Friday. We are here back at Crosshatch Puzzles for another New York Times Daily Crossword Solve. And it is Friday, October 10th, 2025. Today's Friday themeless crossword is by Colin Adams. And apparently it is a little bit tricky even for a Friday. So we'll see how we get along with this. It is the long weekend here. And so we're opening our long weekend solving with this grid. Let's see how we go. This is Colin Adams grid for Friday, October 10th. It's got these fun patterns of black down the middle here, breaking up the otherwise quite long entries. Let's see what happens. Viking of cartoon fame. Hagar, is that his name? It's coming back at me from years past. I think that's who it is. Sorry for the extra noise in the background. Claustrophobe's desire. Alone time? No, that's an agoraphobe. Claustrophobe's desire. Open space? Maybe something like that. Best-selling singer whose album titles are all Arabic numerals. Is this Adele? 1921, etc.? I think that's right. Arabic numerals, of course, as opposed to Roman numerals, are the numbers that we use in North America here, for the most part, are called Arabic numerals, even though they're derived from Arabic, but now in use all over the world. I think that's what this is. Cosmetic injection. I'm thinking of like Botox or something like that, but I don't know what would fill this many letters. Charge. Charge. Could mean a number of things. Key ingredients in Kongyu Bing, a savory Chinese pancake. Is this like scallion pancake? I don't think... Oh, it's probably that. Probably that. Cry after a reappearing act. Cry after a reappearing act. Here I am. That doesn't quite fit. Let's look at some downs. Instrument in the emblem of Ireland. I think that's probably a harp. Together musically. Is this adue? Wow. If this is actually correct, that astonishes me for a couple of reasons. Expert on inheritance. Something lawyer or inheritance. Oh, no, a gene scientist or something like that. Genealogist? Something like that, I think. That's the kind of inheritance we're talking about. Magician's cry. Magician's cry. I'm not sure. Treats again in a way as a sprain. Resets or re-splints or treats a sprain. How do you treat a sprain? I don't know. Okay. Caitlin of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Caitlin Olsen, I believe. Sister of the Olsen twins. Right? No. I'm thinking of Elizabeth Olsen. Now I'm not sure if this is actually even correct. I'm not sure. 1/1,000,000th prefix. Is this a pica? Pica meter? Pica second? I think is correct. AQI measure, the air quality index, I'm guessing is going to be the Environmental Protection Agency, though God knows what they're doing these days. Eagles and ravens. So capitalized there. So we're not looking for the birds, but probably NFL teams. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Baltimore Ravens. Oh, those are guesses. Hush. Silence, maybe? Base for a bust. I mean, the immediate thing I'm going for is like a bust, like a sculpture of a head. Yeah, but I would want something like podium or pedestal for that, and that doesn't quite fit. with what we've got, so I'm not sure. Source of relief, maybe aloe in calming gels and that kind of thing. 1 out of 100. Scent? Like that? 1 out of 100. Might be. What's this? Christopher Nolan movie with a palindromic name. This is Tenet, so I guess it's probably right. Locales for some residents in brief. Emergency rooms for resident doctors. Cosmetic injection is going to be lip filler. Oh, a base for a bust could be a plinth. I thought of podium and pedestal, but not plinth. It's pitched. A tent is pitched. Maybe this is Olsen after all. Cry after a reappearing act. What? I'm not totally confident about these ones. To charge, to run at, maybe. Treats again. I still don't know that one. Alakazam. Magician's Cry. Alakazam is a possibility. And this could be peekaboo, a reappearing act for a child. And this could be picometer or whatever instead of pica. This maybe looks like it's this kind of Olsen. Offered. I don't see it. Hard to miss shot. A lay-in? Is that a type of, no. Hard to miss. A tap-in, maybe? I'm thinking this is well, tap-ins would be in hockey, maybe. A hard to miss shot. Retapes could be. You certainly tape up a sprain. Expert on inheritance, a geneticist. That will work. Took. Offered is bid, as in a card game or an auction. Took. Somehow I don't see this. The Emperor and his subjects in Disney's The Emperor's New Groove. This is set in the Inca Empire, so this is Incas. Mirthless, grim, maybe, as a situation. Greek letter that refers to a lone wolf in Gen Z slang. Sigma? Okay. Took, seized. Company whose stock price cratered in the early 2000s, probably Enron, I'm guessing. 12 PGs, maybe 12. What? 12 pages, maybe? Oh, months, as in a calendar. 12 pages in a calendar are each months. Enron, I guess. Colonial homes, I guess ant farms. I would not have gotten that if I hadn't already put ant in there. Ants certainly build their homes in colonies, so I think that's what that's getting at. Sentiment during El Dia de San Valentin, St. Valentine's Day. Sentiment. Te amo, I guess. I love you is could be that sentiment expressed on St. Valentine's Day. Someone who spends a lot of time baking. A beach bum, baking in the sun. Barrage with insults in online lingo. Shame? Flame, maybe? Creates. Don't know that. What would this be? Not so private diaries. Blogs, I guess. Oops. Tempo between lento and adagio. Largo, I guess. There are not really well-defined gradations of slow tempo markings. Lento and adagio and largo, all slow tempo markings, but not in any particular order, unless you look at, they have the, like on music folders, sometimes they have those like definitions of lento means 54 beats a minute and largo means 60 beats a minute. Adagio means 72 beats a minute, but that's not always true, of course. We're booked. What are booked? Rooms can be booked. Creates could be forms, and then this would be flame after all. One of a kind individual, a rare something maybe. Preceding periods. Pre's? That doesn't look right. Preceding periods. I don't know. Was no longer under the weather. Felt okay? Oh, preceding periods could be Eves. Felt okay. Okay. Actress activist Cox, Laverne Cox. A star or two star. Celeb, probably. One of a kind individual. Rare. I still don't see it. Rams legend Dickerson, not a clue. Pretty please. Can I, maybe? Bok choy here at 49 down. Where all of your knowledge might be wasted. Where all of your knowledge might be wasted. Don't see it. Bit of a fast food side order, onion ring, and that pairs nicely with scallions, which we had at 18 across in the opposite corner. Was totally awesome, kicked ass, I guess. That's fun. By, another way of saying by is via, or via, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Rackets. Dins, as in the din that is happening outside my window. One of a kind individual could be a rare bird. Where all of your knowledge might be wasted. Bar trivia, and so we're talking about wasted in terms of alcohol consumption as well as that. So I think that's just a nice play on words there. Shares a big fish story, say brags probably. Verbally threw tomatoes at, booed. The Rockets on a scoreboard. Houston Rockets, is it? I'll try that. Packs of zombies. Hordes of zombies, maybe is how they are referred to. The Beatles' The End has one at the beginning. A drum solo, I'm guessing, with the DRU there at the beginning. Part of a film studio's overhead. A boom mic, that's funny. Overhead, normally meaning overhead costs, but in this case, literally something they might have overhead. Ecological community, a biome. Nonette of Greek mythology, the Muses, said to inspire various kinds of art. Volunteers' suggestion, use me. School that's home to Mike the Tiger in its 15,000 square foot habitat. Well, something state university, but I'm not sure which. The Yankees and Red Sox, for example. The Yankees and the Red Sox, for example. What would fit in here? I don't know. A plus giver, blood donor. So not A plus, but A positive, maybe. Giver, and this might be Louisiana State University there. The Yankees and the Red Sox, for example. Foes. Okay, enemies of each other. Okay, great. Something you might have while trying to move quickly. Something you might have while trying to move quickly. Or say, not move quickly as in to hurry to work or something, but to move to sell your home and move into another one quickly. You might have a fire sale or a business. Excessive enthusiasm could be a mania. One might be ticked off. You might tick off items off of a list. Blunt recap of a disappointing match. I lost. Common parfait toppings are oats. And a long-time alternative to Altoids are certs. How's that? Okay, didn't quite get under 13 minutes, but not bad for a Friday, and one that was supposed to have been pretty tricky. I think as I insinuated towards the beginning, these diagonal sets of black squares really help to break up. Like, I think the longest entries are these triple stacks in the corners at 9 letters each. And this is 10, I suppose, and that must mean this is 10 as well. But that's it. Got some 8s here. But these really serve to break things up so that in a 15 by 15 grid here, we really don't have anything longer than 10 letters and mostly not longer than 9. Which means these are all sort of like mid-sized entries. And I will say, like, although there's quite a bit of wordplay, which I'll get to in a second, nothing, like, there's no trivia. I don't think there's any trivia that's really really so obscure, and even when there is, it's crossed with crossing entries that are pretty easy to get. So I'd say this is a really, really solid puzzle, a really good amount of difficulty in here. Let's go over a couple of things. So this one, together musically, I say that, I mean, this came up in a class the other day, trying to explain the meaning of a due, which literally means in Italian, in two, like both together, two parts at once kind of thing, and is often used when a pair of instruments that normally play separately, like a pair of flutes or a pair of oboes, as you would have in an orchestra, are shown on a score as playing together. So there's only written in one line with the indication, usually abbreviated A2 with the Arabic numeral 2, A2, to indicate that although only one line is showing, both players are actually supposed to be playing together, and so that's what that is. And just yeah, amazed that we have these two music related clues next to each other, and this one a little bit obscure, and I'm glad that I knew it. But some wordplay stuff here, wordplay on inheritance here, not inheritance of wealth or assets, but inheritance of genetic traits. A geneticist here. We also have charge is not wordplay necessarily, but is a broad enough term that it could mean a number of different things. A reappearing act also kind of insinuates magic here, especially crossing with Alakazam, but in this case it's the game for babies. What else? It's pitched, again, not wordplay, but the construction of the clue is maybe misleading unless you know to expect these kinds of things. When you see it in a clue, you're usually trying to look for the thing that the it could be. Someone who spends a lot of time baking in the sun, of course being the bit that's missing there and replaced by the question mark, is a beach bum. We're booked, kind of the same thing as it for the it's pitched tense. We're booked. These are things that can be booked. In this case, rooms. Colonial homes. Again, I was thankful to have ant already in there, because otherwise this would have been tricky to guess that not colonial as in a style or a period of architecture, but meaning homes that are built in colonies. What else? Where all of your knowledge might be wasted. Not that much of a play on words, but a nice little pun, I guess, for bar trivia. What else did we have here? 1 out of 100. Again, not really that much of wordplay. And also, that's not... So when you say 1 out of 100, excuse me, what you really mean is 1 out of 100 when amassed together can make something else, as opposed to, you think like 1 out of 100 could mean 1%, and so that out of the 100, that phrase would indicate percent. But in this case, we're looking for just 1 out of a collection of 100 instead of a ratio. Residence here, again, a little bit of a misdirection here. Residents not as people who live in a place, but people who are resident professionals. What else? This one, A+ giver. Not A+, but a positive giver here, for blood donor. Part of a film studio's overhead. I quite like this clue. Again, had enough in the crosses to be able to, and that's really the great part about this puzzle too, is that the crosses will be really helpful and are not that, there's sufficient doable clues that the crosses are really, really helpful throughout. But overhead, not as overhead costs, but of a physically overhead item. And then finally, we have one more of these, just like tent and rooms. We have one might be ticked off, not as a person who might be upset, but as something that you might tick items off of our list. So that is our puzzle for Friday, October 10th by Colin Adams. A really, really solid and well-constructed puzzle with plenty of lively cluing and fills throughout. If you enjoyed this solve, please give it a like. If you want to know when I'm posting the next one, hit the subscribe button. And I hope I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I may not get to any other puzzles this weekend, so yeah, have a great weekend, and we'll see you the next time for the next solve here on Crosshatch Puzzles. Cheers.